All right, welcome back everyone. I'm Riley and thank you for joining me for another bullet journal flip through. So I've been making custom bullet journals for a while now for like family, friends, whatever, and recently I started selling them on Etsy. So this specific one is not on my Etsy shop. This one is actually made for a family member, but if you are interested in checking out some of my other bullet journal flip throughs, I have a full playlist of those, and if you want to check out my Etsy shop, all of that is in the description. So I'm really excited about today's bullet journal because I kind of took like a different approach on it. So normally I feel like bullet journals are super like theme focused. You know, usually when people order bullet journals from me, they request most, if not all, of the themes that they want, often things that they've seen on Pinterest or Instagram or whatever. But this one I was given complete freedom, so I decided to try something different, and instead of like making it themes focused, I decided to make it more focused on like the color scheme. So I chose 5 colors, and those are the only colors I used throughout the entire journal. They're all Crayola Super Tips. All I used was those, some microns, and some Tombow brush pens in black for the lettering, but that's literally it, and all of those supplies will be linked in the description. So that said, this journal still like has themes. It's not that it doesn't have themes, it's just that instead of choosing the themes and then choosing different colors for each month accordingly, I chose the colors right at the beginning of the journal and then picked different themes for each month that I thought could fit with those 5 colors. So another reason why I'm excited for this journal is because it's for my sister for Christmas. Acacia, if you're watching this right now, just maybe put this on hold, don't watch it before Christmas. She knows that she's getting a journal from me for Christmas because I asked her for her input, but obviously I don't want her to see the finished product before Christmas. So yeah, Acacia, not your video to watch right now. So this journal also isn't like a typical sort of planner and tracker bullet journal, you know how most bullet journals are. It's one of those sort of memory book journals. So I made a flip through of one of these a while ago called like a 1 line a day journal, and I myself have been buying these from, well, actually I've been getting them as gifts, but they're from like Amazon and Chapters, and you can get them to kind of write down 1 line a day for 3, 4, or 5 years or whatever. So these journals are kind of based off of those, but I only have space for 2 years. So basically every single day for 2 years, you can write down just a little thing that happened, a memory, or some sort of inspirational thought that you want to look back on the next year. So lately for my bullet journals, I have been using these Dollarama bullet journals that I got. They're awesome. They're only $3. The only thing that I don't love about them is the binding. I like how it looks, but it can be a little bit weak. So I'm trying to figure out a good solution for that. But I think it's super cute. My sister really likes like sky blue like this. So this is her bullet journal, and let's go ahead and flip through it. So here's the journal for my sister. It's this nice light blue, and it covers 2 years, 2021 and 2022, and I'll show you how. So like I said, I chose a really simple color palette for the whole thing. I used 5 colors throughout and then a variety of fine liners. So this is the title page for January, I should say, and she asked for a combination of like a prayer page for some months, and for some months just a Bible verse to remember. So January has a prayer page, a spot for 2021 and 2022, and you'll see there's a spot for every single day of the year. So here's January 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in 2021, and then 2022 is right beside. So as she's like writing in what happened that day or something memorable or whatever, she can look back and reflect on the previous year. So there's spots for every single day of January, and then at the end of the month there's a space for highlights. So months that have 31 days, there's a smaller section for highlights, but months with only 30 days, the highlights get a full page. So here's February. I really like how this one turned out, and it was so simple to put together. So for February, instead of doing a prayer page, I chose a Bible verse that I thought she might like because she asked me to alternate between those two in her journal. The rest of February is pretty much the same as January, but obviously the colors and stuff go with the theme. So we've got February 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, all the way to the end of February. I really love this color palette, and I think she will too. Just these nice muted oranges, blues. I think they work really well together. Now we've got March, and this is the theme that kind of came from my other custom bullet journal that I flipped through recently on this channel, and I'll link that video right above. So again, March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in 2021 and 2022, all the way through March. So this is just a great place to collect your memories over a few years so that you can look back and reflect on the monthly highlights as a whole, reflect on each day. I personally have really loved doing this for myself. So here's April, and April again has a verse instead of a prayer page. And again, these designs that I used in her journal are so simple, but I think because of like how cohesive the color scheme is, these simple designs really work and they just look so cute. So we've got April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd for January, or for 2021 and 2022, all the way through. And here is May. So May is featuring more of the blue colors in our color palette for this month, and May has a prayer page again, so a spot for prayer requests in 2021 and 22, and then again a spot to write down little memories and stuff for every single day. And then just a half page for highlights. Then we've got June, and June is one of my favorites. June and September I absolutely love. So June, again, I did a jellyfish theme in my other custom journal as well that I already talked about, but I really love how it looks with this color palette and with the border. I don't know why I don't add a border more often. I think it looks really cute. And again, June just has a little verse. And here we've got a spot for each day. So if you wanted to order a journal like this or a normal like planner style bullet journal, you can definitely check out my Etsy shop, and all of these themes are options. Of course, you don't have to have a prayer page and a verse page. You can choose to have quotes, habit trackers, events, whatever. And here, because June only has 30 days, it gets a whole page for highlights. Then we've got July. I went with just one color in July, and I do like how it looks. We've got a prayer page here, and then again a spot for July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in both years, all the way through the month. And a spot for highlights. Now August again is sort of a repeat theme. I did change it up a little bit, but I did do a rainbow theme like this in another journal already. So I used just a loose calligraphy font here, and I've got again a verse, and the theme just carries over nicely to the verse page and to the rest of the month. We've got all the colors of her little rainbows, the same font, so that she can write about every single day. All right. And now we've come to September. So like I said at the start, June, the month with the jellyfish, was probably my number one, but September is definitely my number two. I love how this color scheme worked with these loose florals, and I like how I left like more space. I feel like sometimes a mistake that I make in bullet journaling is thinking that I need to fill all the space, but I do find that I really like having some white space. It just makes it look more like clean, I guess. So here's September. It is my favorite month, but it's also the month where I made the most mistakes. So for example, here I put a heading that did not even make sense. So I cut a piece of my bullet journal and pasted it back in. I don't love how this page looks. I might come back and add some flowers, but anyways, it serves its function as a prayer page. Then we've got spots to write about all of September, as usual. And at the end we have a highlights page. So I really love how the highlights page turned out, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but I screwed up again on the highlights page. I had to patch a piece of bullet journal paper over here and over here. But one thing is, like, doing these custom journals has really taught me how to like cover up my bullet journal errors. And the best way that I have found, if you're looking for a way to kind of patch up a mistake here and there, is just to cut out a piece of your bullet journal. So I have a journal that's just kind of my like scrap bullet journal. I use it for whatever, not really for like planning and stuff. So I just have a page at the back of that journal that I just cut whenever I need to cut. And that is how I sort of cover up for my mistakes. Now here's October. I really love the calligraphy for this month, how I like changed colors in the midst of the word, and I like how this verse turned out here. Then again, we've got October 1st, 2021 and 2022, and the same thing for all the days of October. Surprise, surprise. And finally, we've got our highlights section. Now November is definitely the most plain month. I might still add something to spice it up. I'm not giving this to her till Christmas, so honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I come back and make some additions. But for now, I'm all right with it. So we've got a spot to write about every day in November. And of course, we have our highlights page at the back here, and I like how this sort of serif font turned out on the highlights page. And finally, December. So my sister didn't give me like tons of ideas to work with for her bullet journal, but one pin that she sent me was a pin that had these sort of things on them. I'm not exactly sure what they're called, but I did decide to sort of copy it, of course, with a different color palette and things like that. So that's the theme for December. So we've got our title and our verse, and I noticed I had an extra page in the journal, so I decided to add a verse and a prayer page for December. Then we've got a space to write about every single day in December. And finally, we end off with just a little highlight section here for December. So this is a 160-page journal, and with all of those pages, there's one extra page at the back, and I decided to just leave this totally blank for if she wants to put like yearly highlights or just notes to herself, anything like that. This page is just kind of a free page for her to use. Thanks for joining me, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed flipping through my sister's bullet journal. I would love to hear from you guys which months are your favorites, so let me know down in the comments below which months you like. If you decide to try any of those themes, I would love to hear that from you as well. And of course, if you like this video, please let me know just by leaving a thumbs up, and I would love to have you join me here on my channel for even more bullet journal content by hitting subscribe. See you guys in the next video.